there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the topic, this 10-minute moan, is a bit of news about Edinburgh University telling its staff that they will be looking to cut staff, hopefully with voluntary redundancies, but may have to go into compulsory redundancies if unavoidable due to the financial climate. And what's interesting in the story, it tells you that the latest higher education institution to announce it's cutting back staff in the face of national insurance rises. But when you read the document, there's actually more to it than that. But the headlines and the way some are portraying it in the media would suggest it's purely down to national insurance rises, which I'm sure would have some impact on it. But when you read the figures, it surely can't be even the largest issue facing universities. And the reason I say that is the letter to staff. The Vice-Chancellor, Sir Peter Matheson, said the sector is dealing with challenges around international student recruitment, a key source of income, along with the increasing staff costs and an underfunding of places for Scottish and UK students. And this will all go back down to the SNP, who always claim it was them that done it, done away with tuition fees. And because we don't pay for higher education in Scotland anymore, they have actually restricted the places. So the old scheme, if you could afford to pay, you paid, and if you couldn't afford to pay, there was bursaries, etc. in place, meant that you could always fill them because we had enough kids who were obtaining the right grades, and we could basically fill our universities with Scottish people, well, either on the bursary system or pay for the education themselves. But now that nobody's allowed to pay, even those that are super rich, if you were a billionaire in Scotland and you send your kid to university, even if you wanted to, you wouldn't be paid. So what's happened in Scotland is we have a cap on the amount of Scottish kids that go to universities. And when you read back a lot of the stuff, earlier this month, Dundee University warned cuts to staffing levels are inevitable as a result of the projected deficit of up to £30 million per month. Now, the Dundee one, that says it was earlier on in the month. I'm not sure if that was pre-budget or not. And their deficit projections of £30 million would not be close to the number that they would be looking at after an increase of the national insurance. But the national insurance thing seems to be what we're trumping out to the public. And there was some figures that this Sir Peter had put in the email to staff. So many of you will be aware that our university costs £120 million per month to run. That blew my mind. And it says here, challenges around international student recruitment within an already competitive international student market, increasing staff costs since the pandemic. Not sure how those two things tie together, but they do apparently. And the unsustainable levels of funding for Scottish and other UK students. Our outgoings are consistently higher than our income. Now, I don't know the figures, but I know they're saying that they don't have, it goes on to tell you, I'll find in a minute, it talks about how they weren't able to fill their university this year, recruitment. That would be helped when you cap the amount of Scottish students who can go to universities. If that cap doesn't exist, would they be able to fill their classes? And this is actually quite frightening because Scotland was world known for its education and indeed its universities. We were one of the first countries in the world to have universities. We always had a higher number of universities per head than other parts of the United Kingdom. But the general election has brought a new UK government which has increased national insurance costs for employers. This has created a multi-million-pound increase to our salary bill. they have also made a small increase to tuition fees for students. Whilst I welcome the UK government's recognition that an inflation-linked rise in tuition fees is necessary as a small step of addressing funding sustainability, the potential additional income this could generate falls short of the significant increase in staff costs resulting from the NI increase. Staff costs already account for 60% of our annual expenditure. So that would be, they're paying about £70 million a month then in staff. Because what they told us earlier is it was £120 a month to run the university, £120 per month of costs, and they're saying 60% of their annual expenditure is staff. They must have some amount of people, or the highest paid staff in the world. And aye, there we go. Like many other universities, we are not able to recruit fully to target in 23-24, and as a result, we experienced a shortfall in our projected tuition fee income. This is a bit I'm talking about. So we've not been able to fill Edinburgh University, one of the country's best known and best respected venues in Scotland. Can't fill it. And this will be down in a big part. They're suggesting that it's tough to recruit foreign nationals for their programmes. Quite easy to recruit Scottish ones. But we have this cap that nobody kind of wants to discuss. And I'm quite happy to suggest, put my neck in the line here and say, if it wasn't for the cap on the Scottish children able to go to universities, Edinburgh University probably wouldn't need to be cutting staff at all. But nobody wants to discuss it. And why have we got it? Because SNP claim that the just realised my microphone's here. If it sounds poor, I do apologise. They claim the plaudits for the zero fees, free tuition fees. And I just think that, there was nothing wrong with the system previously. Why break it? People who could not afford to go to university could apply for bursaries, and people who could pay for it could go. Now, that obviously led to more people, rich kids, going than working class kids, unless, the bursaries, with the caps on bursaries, we couldn't just give it to everybody. But their drive to close the attainment gap, all they've done is they've brought the number of kids who could have afforded and could probably still afford to go to college, universities not getting, and try to raise the amount. Because that's the other thing that people don't want to talk about. Getting into university is very postcode based. Because if you're in a postcode where they feel they want to make it more attractive to you, put it that way, then you have a lower grade expectation than people in other postcodes where they're deemed to be well off and better schools. So we give the free places to people who are from the worst postcodes, perceived worst postcodes, but the people who are from the perceived better postcodes who could afford to go to top this up don't get that opportunity. Because SNP want to tell us everybody can get further education free. Well, you can't, because there's a cap on it. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please hit subscribe and notification bell. But most importantly of all, unless you're someone who is completely blind to the effects of, inverted commas, free tuition, because somebody pays for it, not you, but
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.